What is up, ASMR family? It is your boy, Christopher Cologne, and I have another ramble type video, so like rules of life or, things to make your life easier, something like that. I don't know exactly what I'm going to call it, but yeah, it's just like different stuff I've learned, and I'll ramble a little bit on each thing, but not like I could if I was going to take it and just specifically talk about one thing, do a whole video for one thing. So just a little bit on each one. So be adaptive is one. You got to be able to adapt because life throws things at us all the time. Life changes, and life changes fast. Sometimes it is good, sometimes it's bad, sometimes it's not for better or worse, it just changes. But no matter what, you got to be able to adapt to make it in this world. So be adaptive is the first one. Second one is be confident. Be confident in yourself. The more confident you are, the better. When you're confident, I'm not talking about being conceited and being an asshole about stuff and not thinking that there's anybody else better than you, because just to be real, there's always somebody. No matter how good you are at something, there's always somebody better. It's just whether or not you run into that person or not. But yeah, so you gotta be confident, and when you're confident, people can tell you're confident. It just kind of oozes off of you, and people react to that better than they do, somebody that's real insecure and everything, especially if you're letting your insecurities run you. Because if you're letting your insecurities control you, you start doing all kinds of stuff that just pushes people away. You can become real toxic and everything. So you want to be confident. Okay? And then be mindful of time. So be mindful of time. Be on time. You can... It's easy to let time slip by because time goes by so quick. That's just like the other day. It was about 7:30 in the morning. I looked at my clock. It said something like 7:30, and I was piddling around on Facebook or whatever, and I was like, well, I'll look at this for a few more minutes, and then I'll go to making my videos and everything, because that's what I was going to do. But it seemed like it was only a few minutes later. I look at my clock, and it was like 10 o'clock, and I'm like, holy shit, where'd the time go? So you gotta be and that's because I was not mindful of the time. You gotta be mindful of time. You don't want to be late for everything, and you don't want to be early for everything either. Like, not too early. Being a little bit early is good, but yeah, you don't want to be late for everything, because what happens if you're late for your job? You're late for your job all the time. You're losing money because you're not working as long. You're making yourself look bad, so eventually they're going to let you go. What happens if you're in school? You keep showing up late, you bother the class, you don't learn as much as you need to, and just a whole number of things. What happens if you're late having fun? If you and your friends are going to go to a concert or something like that, then you could hold them up. Or if you're going by yourself, you could miss the best part of the show or the best part of the movie that you're going to go see, because like some of these movies, if you don't catch the first of them, the rest of the movie, you're just lost. So be mindful of time and don't procrastinate. Hold to your word. If you say you're going to do something, try your best to do it. Nah, I'm not saying stuff, that stuff don't happen and stop you and everything, because God knows things happen, I've said I was going to do a lot of stuff and just shit just keeps happening. But I've always tried to make it happen when I say it. So if you say something, make sure you try your best to hold to your word, because if you don't hold to your word, if you just keep saying stuff, it's like the boy who cried wolf. I know y'all have heard that. Nobody's going to believe you. You're going to say stuff and they're all like, yeah, whatever. So you don't want people to be like that with you, because that can destroy opportunities for you and everything. So just hold to your word. Now, we got learn as much as you can. That's probably one of the most important ones. Learn as much as you can. You can never learn too much. And the more you know, the better. The more things you know, the more things you know how to do, the better. I'm not saying you gotta be a rocket scientist. Like, I ain't saying you gotta go study physics and all that, even though that would be a good thing. But I'm saying just learn to do stuff. Learn some history, Like, the more things you learn, like learn how to work on cars, learn how to weld, learn how to learn finance and stuff like that. Learn how to do plumbing, learn how to work on your house. Just learn. It's the most important. It's one of the most important things you can do is learn. So that's like, there's so many things that I got interested later on in life that if I would have just had my mindset on learning all I could learn, I would have learned earlier in life, and life would have been a lot easier. So learn all you can. Learn as much as you can. Make time for yourself and for those that you love. Don't spend all your time working, because all you're going to do is end up missing everything that really means something to you. So make more time to take care of yourself and make more time to spend with your loved ones. Because trust me, you'll end up regretting it if you don't. So then next one is be financially responsible. Make smarter financial decisions. And try to do it as young as you can, And if you're a parent, teach your kid to do that as young as you can teach them. Because the world's getting harder. It's getting grimier. It's getting harder in a lot of aspects. And, you want it to be easier for you if you got kids. You want it to be easier for your kids. So teach, learn yourself, and if you have kids or even people around you, try to guide them in the right direction too. But yeah, be more financially responsible. Like shoes. Come on, how many shoes do you really need? How many hats do you really need? How many chains do you really need? Do you really need the set of rims? How many colognes do you need? Like, look at me. I spent all this money on cologne and everything to try to build this channel. And I've been working on this channel for 1.5 years, and I haven't even made $300 back on it yet. So, but if I would have been sticking that money in, if I would have stuck the majority of my money into my investment stuff, like my crypto and everything, I would have already made a lot of money. And we ain't even hit the bull market yet. So, and then I could have been sticking my money into my house. My house still ain't fixed because I prioritized other things. I wasn't financially smart. Be financially smart. Be more responsible. It's like I think it was Jay-Z that said, if you can't buy something twice, you can't afford it. So I think if you can't buy something 2 or 3 times over in that one time, you don't really need it, you know? And so many of us don't do that, and it gets us in trouble. Look at us. Look at so many of us. We're running on debt. We're nothing but little economic slaves. That's it. We're manipulated like hell. Just study Edward Bernays and psychoanalysis and Sigmund Freud, and you will see what I'm talking about. We are played. We are manipulated. We don't need all this crap that we buy, you know? I mean, you like it, but just because you like it doesn't mean you gotta get it, you know? And it's ridiculous. We waste a lot of money, and then we screw ourselves over. So when a lot of us could be way better off if we were more financially responsible. Okay, and then this goes back to spending time with people. Now, I'm not saying live your life, you know, look at everything through the phone or the camera all the time, but yeah, take some pictures more often if you don't take them a lot. Take some video more often if you don't take it a lot. Don't do it to a point where you're looking at everything through the screen. But you know, later on in life, it's nice to have those pictures to look at and this and that. And if you're like me and your memory is fading on you, it'll help. So it's nice to look at stuff, because that's like me. Even though my MRI, besides my Chiari, says that my brain scans were impeccable, my memory is horrible. Like, I talked to friends that I was friends with in high school and stuff like that, and they're sitting there talking to me about shit, and I don't remember it. And it happens way too often. My kids' life, I can only remember a handful of things with them, and that's it. Like, I talked to my mom and others, and they remember so much stuff, and I'm like, I should remember way more than what I do. So it's nice to have the pictures and everything. So yeah, take some time, take the pictures, and then be good to people. Just be good to people. Be a good person. There's not enough good people in the world. You know, and if more of us would be good people, and more of us would be good people and look out for one another and everything more often, instead of being selfish, which a lot of the selfish people ruin the good people, because the good people do want to do things and everything, and then they end up getting used, and they get tired of being used, and then they're still good people, but then they just don't do shit for nobody else. And and when you don't do shit for anybody else, it's almost the same as not necessarily being a bad person, but it's kind of moving towards those lines, because you ain't doing nothing for anybody. You know, you're just doing for yourself, and that's no different than a selfish person. So, but yeah, if more people were to worry about others and, stuff like that, the world would be a better place. I'm not saying disregard you and your life and your family and all that. By no means am I saying that. Because you don't want to be a people pleaser. So, but I'm just like little things here and there, just doing something good. And if more people did something good instead of trying to suck somebody else dry, things would be a lot better. So, and then, if you don't feel right doing something, don't do it. Don't do it if you don't feel right doing something. That goes back to the whole people pleasing thing. Don't worry about them. If you don't feel right doing it, don't do it. Don't go against yourself like that. Don't disrespect yourself like that. Because in a lot of ways, that's what you're doing. So, and you always want to respect and love yourself. That's another thing. Respect and love yourself. Because if you don't, you'll end up getting walked all over. So, you always want to hold your word, respect yourself, be confident, stuff like that. But, okay, and then don't let fear of success or failure stop you from doing what you want to do, your dreams or whatever. Now this kind of goes back on what I was saying with the whole spend time for yourself and with your family and friends and everything. Because to chase a dream takes a lot of time, but you gotta find that balance in there. So, and that's something that chasing a dream is hard to do, is to find that balance. Don't I know about that, so it sucks. But yeah, but don't let, you're gonna fail. It's almost 100% chance you're gonna fail at least your first time. So don't be afraid of that, because it's a learning experience. Will it hurt? Could it hurt you financially and everything? Yeah, but you know what? That's when you brush everything off and you be like, okay, I learned from that, and you try again. So now I'm not saying keep trying on something that is not gonna work. Now I'm not saying that, but I am saying learn from your mistakes and go at it. Don't be afraid to fail. And as far as success, don't be afraid of success either, because you succeeding in it is what you wanted. Sure, things are scary about success and everything because it's unknown. You don't know what all's going to come with that. But if you succeed in what you're wanting to do, you're going to be in a lot better position than what you are now, right? So don't be afraid of success, because either way, you're going to have crazy shit. Life is going to have just shit's going to happen. So wouldn't you want to be successful at what you tried to do, or at what you want to do, and shit come at you? Or would you rather shit come at you and you're in a place in life you don't want to be? So me, I'd rather be successful in what I wanted. So yeah, and discipline yourself. Self-discipline is so important. It builds strength, and self-discipline is, like Will Smith said, self-discipline is self-love. Because like if you're not disciplining yourself, like you don't want to be out of shape, you don't want to feel bad from you don't want to feel bad, you don't want to have high blood pressure, you don't want to be overweight, you don't want all the stuff that can come with not disciplining yourself, right? So yeah, you gotta discipline yourself. You gotta show yourself some love. And yeah, I know that piece of chocolate cake or whatever it is good, and I know it triggers things in the brain. Trust me, I know that. Because sugar, I can feel sugar interacting with my brain more than any drug I ever did. So I understand, but we gotta discipline ourselves because the crap that comes from it, because you don't want to end up with high blood pressure, diabetes, overweight, and everything, because now you're feeling like shit, you know. And then you could end up on medications, you can end up with all kinds of heart problems, and then you end up slowly dying. That's like me. Okay, I'm pretty sure I've had gallbladder problems for years, and sometimes, you know, your body parts just go bad no matter what. But I've always went on binges where I start binging shitty food and everything, and then I'll do great for a while, but then I'll fall back and go into another binge for a while and eat shitty and everything like that. And I've done it since I was a kid. Like, there was one time I hid my mom bought some Oreos to put in my stepdad's lunch for work. Well, it was over the weekend. One of my friends ate one the night that they spent the night. I ate the rest of them, and I was like 10 years old then, but I ate the rest of them, and then made the bag of Oreo, the bag of Oreos look like it was never opened. So whenever she went to fix his lunch that Monday morning, and there was no Oreos in there, but yeah, I ate them all, like within no time at all. And I've done stuff like that my whole life. I've always struggled with sugar. So, but yeah, doing something like that all your life, then it'll get you a bad gallbladder, get you bad liver, cause diabetes, fuck your pancreas up, all kinds of stuff. So, hey, Mr. Snore, chill out. But he's sleeping and snoring. But yeah, so self-discipline is self-love. You gotta discipline yourself to stay away from that stuff. Discipline causes you to save money. You know, you want a house, you want land, you want this, you want that. You gotta save up for it. You gotta have discipline to save up. Otherwise, you're just gonna keep spending the money on dumb shit. Oh, my throat is so scratchy. Okay. Yeah. And slow down sometimes at life. Just slow down. Take it easy. Because life goes by fast, man. Life goes by so fast. And you gotta slow down and just look at everything and enjoy it. Because if you don't, it's gonna pass you by. So just, you know, you can enjoy life while you're going, but sometimes it's good just to chill out, relax, and just look at everything. Just take it all in. So that's like I used to love playing with my kids whenever they were little. But you know, something that I loved just as much was sometimes standing on that porch and looking in that door, that glass door, and just watching them. Sometimes that was just as good as being a part of it. So, yeah. So I think that's it. I mean, and stand up for what you believe in. don't back down from what you believe in, because it'll end up eating you up inside. Y'all. Ow. Damn nerve pains I'm getting. So this is my last video I'm making tonight, and it's probably like 8 hours before I'm gonna have this surgery. I gotta be at the hospital. So I will go ahead and upload this video and everything, and then make it public right before I have my surgery. And then I have another video already to release on. I'm either going to release it tomorrow night at like midnight or whatever, or I'll release it Thursday, but I'll go ahead and upload that too and just leave it private. So, but anyway, y'all, I appreciate y'all watching, and I will see y'all next video. Y'all take it easy, and peace, peace, peace.